Hello, everybody. I'm Lisa Shield, and I want to welcome you to Finding the Guardian of Your Soul. This is long overdue. I have been working on so many new things in my business that I have hardly had time to do these broadcasts, and I so apologize. I know that it is remiss of me not to do them, but I'm trying so hard to be able to get these in. And today I want to talk to you about finding the right man now. 7 signs he's truly ready. So that's the topic of today's talk. And I think you're going to find this very, very interesting. Um, it is a topic that I think everybody should, a discussion every single person should be having in her mind. So, what are the signs of a man that's truly ready? There are probably a lot of signs, and I'm going to be honest, you couldn't really capture them all in this one broadcast, but these are 7 very important signs. And I think that if any of these were missing, you would know very quickly. Why do we have the wrong banner here? That's very interesting. Okay. This is the wrong one. So I'm going to put the right one up. Technical difficulties, please forgive me. So let's talk about finding the right man now. I know a lot of you really want to get this solved. It's exhausting dating. It is a lot of work to keep putting yourself out there. It can be discouraging. And I know because I went on 96 first dates in 2 years looking for my husband, Benjamin. We've been together for 23 years now. Many of you know that. And that was, as far as I'm concerned, the single most important thing I did in my life was finding Benjamin. I don't think that there is any more valuable use of our time than finding partnership. I know a lot of women have given up on men. They say it's not worth it, that all men are the enemy, all the good men are taken. Maybe love just isn't in the cards for them. And, I refuse to believe that for myself. And I think that the women who do and who really put their mind to getting this solved can solve it. It is extremely important to work with professionals in this part of your life in the same way that you would work with a professional for anything else you do. So you wouldn't just try to get an MBA or figure out all the things that you would need to do to have an MBA on your own. And it's the same with dating. Why wouldn't you just work with somebody who's a professional and who's already figured this out and who can guide you through that process and teach you things you don't know, help you see your blind spots and all so that you can get this solved. So that's what I do. I became a love coach over 23 years ago because I was sick and tired. I really felt like I wanted or wished that I could have found somebody to guide me through this process myself, so I didn't have to figure it out on my own all those years ago. There are many love coaches today. There weren't when I was doing this work. I was one of the very first love coaches. So these 7 things, these 7 signs that a man is available, what are they? Well, the first is that he follows through consistently. And one of the issues, any available man, isn't going to call you up, he's not going to make plans and then not follow through. If he is truly available and looking for partnership and he wants to find a true partner, this man is going to follow through, and he will do it consistently because he wants to impress you and he wants to win you over. And this is extremely important. When he says he'll call on Tuesday, he calls on Tuesday. He doesn't, when he plans to take you out to dinner on Friday, he plans to take you out on Friday, and he doesn't bail when there's an emergency. And this isn't about being perfect, but it is about showing you that he's reliable. He doesn't leave you wondering. He doesn't use you as a backup plan. With him, a yes means a yes. So a plan is actually a plan. And there's something very reassuring in that kind of behavior that allows you to start to relax and feel safe and secure. So that's what consistency does. It actually creates safety and allows you to breathe. And then the next thing, number 2, the second sign, is that he's genuinely curious about you. He doesn't just ask you questions because he's got some ulterior motive and he's feigning interest because, he wants to get you into bed. He is genuinely interested in getting to know you, and you will feel that because as you go on more dates, he will remember the things you tell him. He'll follow up. He'll ask you questions. If you talked about something that happened at work, he is going to remember that. And the next time you meet, he will ask you, how did that presentation go? How did it go with your boss when you had that conversation? He is going to follow through on all the things that you tell him. And even more importantly, he wants to figure out what you like and don't like, what your preferences are, so that he can do those things for you on future dates. If you like a certain kind of cuisine, or if you prefer to do activities rather than go out to dinner, he is going to remember those things. And you better believe, if you mentioned that there's a great new restaurant that opened up that you've been dying to try, you better believe that he is going to make plans, and that will be your next date. So you can feel the difference between someone who's going through the motions and someone who's genuinely interested in getting to know you. And the most important thing about a man really being genuinely curious about you is that if he is serious about having a relationship, he wants to know if you're compatible with him. He doesn't want to jump into something with somebody if he doesn't know that you're the right person. So he is going to be curious and take his time getting to know you, because getting somebody into your life is a whole lot easier than getting them out of your life. The third sign is that he doesn't play games. You're not sitting there analyzing his every response or, decoding mystery texts. He is very above board. He doesn't play games. He reaches out because he wants to connect with you, and you can just feel his genuineness. It's not because he's bored or he's keeping you as an option. He's genuinely thinking about you and wants to let you know that. So available men don't just use communication as a way, like a power play. They don't send, good morning texts and good night texts when they don't really know you. This man is going to reach out because he's genuinely thinking about you. He's going to make dates and be very above board and follow through with them. So he isn't a game player. In fact, men who are really looking for relationships don't have game. They don't have game. They don't play games. They don't have game. They are very above board, and you can feel it. The whole exchange with him feels natural and not strategic. Sign number 4, he makes plans in advance. He wants to get on your calendar. He knows you're busy, and so is he. And so he truly wants to make space and time for you in his life. And you can feel that. They don't treat you like a last minute option. They make you a priority. And if you have never felt like you were genuinely a priority in a man's life, I hear many women complain about that. I just don't feel like a priority. I feel like he calls me last minute, or I'm an afterthought. You will not feel that way with a man who's truly available and looking for a partner. The 5th sign, he includes you in his life. An available man doesn't keep you at arm's length. He talks openly about his friends, his family, his work, his passions. He's not vague. He's not guarded. This man doesn't create compartments and fit you into one and then have, his family, his kids, and it doesn't feel like he's got all these different parts of his life and that they're not connecting. He is bringing you into his life. In fact, my husband, when we met, he the second date we went on was he took me to the home of a client of his, this beautiful mansion on San Vicente Boulevard in Los Angeles that had belonged previously to John Wayne. And one of his clients was having a benefit for shamans. She had brought some shamans in from the rainforest, and he invited me to accompany him. And I was blown away. It was a magical night, and I felt so honored to be there with him. So, you are going to start to feel the edges of his life expanding to make room for you. He tells you about a challenge at work or something funny his sister said, but you begin to get a sense of who he is, what matters to him, because he's letting you into his life and his world. He's not hiding you. He's not keeping you as a secret. He's not putting you into a separate box. He's emotionally safe, and he wants to include you. And he wants to also be included in your life. Sign number 6, he can handle conflict and difficult conversations and emotional conversations. He doesn't bolt when things get tough. He doesn't run hot and cold. This man is there. He wants to see how you handle those kinds of situations. And he wants to be able to see if the two of you can negotiate and compromise and work through things together. So he doesn't see you as a drama queen or see conflict as drama. He sees it actually as an opportunity to get closer to you. And you don't feel like you have to tiptoe around topics that might upset him, or that you're bracing for him to bolt when things get bad. So he is going to want to stay and work through things with you. And finally, number 7, sign number 7, and this is the big one. You feel calm around him, like you can relax and be yourself. Your nervous system, you're not always constantly walking on eggshells, like I said a little bit earlier, analyzing every text. With unavailable men, there's this low-level anxiety that you can constantly feel, where you're always wondering what he's thinking, when he's going to text you back, what his mixed signals actually mean. That an available man doesn't feel that way. Everything is above board. It's not like you just get the little tip of the iceberg and then there's all this hidden agenda and this hidden stuff going on underneath. With a man who really is available, there's none of that. He's just there. He's available to you. In fact, one of the most beautiful things my husband Benjamin ever said to me was, I don't think there's anything I haven't told you. And if I haven't told it to you, it's just because I haven't thought of it yet. that was one of the greatest honors for me, to hear that this man that I loved and admired and respected so much had completely let me into his world. It was such an honor, and it made me feel like a real woman that a man would open his heart to me in that way. So if you've been choosing all those emotional roller coaster men, this is going to feel very different. And, you know, you are not going to feel that same anxiety that you often associate with chemistry. So it's going to be a very different kind of feeling. It's going to feel very calm and easy. And it may be a little uncomfortable at first, and you may wonder, is something wrong? Why am I not feeling those feelings? Well, you're not feeling that way because there's no hidden agenda. And this man is truly interested in you, and he wants you to know that. He wants you to feel safe and secure with him. He's not playing games. He's not compartmentalizing. He's not keeping you in a box and then, you know, his whole rest of his life over here. He's not, you know, making you a last minute choice, if, you know, holding you to the side in case something better comes along. This man genuinely wants to get to know you, and he's wanting you to get to know him. And so, you know, when you feel that feeling, this is different. I've never felt this way before, but this man keeps showing up. And each time we go out, I like him a little more and a little more. That's your nervous system learning what healthy attraction feels like. So those are 7 really great signs to look for if you want to recognize a truly available man. Now, I have a wonderful, wonderful little ebook that I just put together. It's absolutely free. And I want to see if I can put the link. Yep, I'm going to put that right in the comments right here. So I just put it in the link. If you want to get that ebook, just click that link and it will take you to my ebook. And it has all 7 of these signs in it. It's really great. And at the end of the ebook, there is a wonderful, this is the ebook. I want to show you it's probably backwards. I'm seeing it backwards there, but this is the cover of the ebook. And what's really terrific is that at the back of the ebook, there is a wonderful checklist of all 7. So you can go through, and at the end of a date, after a date, you can go through all 7 of these and just look at these, you know, questions. He showed up exactly when he said he would. The date happened as planned, no last minute changes. If anything changed, he communicated clearly and took responsibility. He reached out to plan this date in a straightforward way. So this will really help you get clear on exactly what you should be looking for when you're looking for a man who's available. And that's all I have for you today. So I'm Lisa Shield. This has been Finding the Guardian of Your Soul. If you're interested in learning more about the work I do, please go to lisashield.com, click the button anywhere on my website. It will take you to a free presentation. And at the end of that presentation, you can sign up for a call with my team so we can show you how we can help you find your available man. I've helped thousands and thousands of women find true love. Maybe you'll be our next success story. Thank you so much. Please come back and see me again. Also on Sundays, I do a special episode called Getting Inside the Right Male Mind with my husband, Benjamin. In fact, this Sunday, we have a terrific episode for you. You don't want to miss it. It's at 10, I believe it's at 10 a.m. Pacific time. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's at 10 a.m. Pacific time on Sundays. So please join us for that as well. And I will see you next time. Thank you and bye-bye.